Hi, Michael. There we go. Person turquoise waving. I'm trying to figure out. I can get a Centipede board to work on a. Let's give it a coin and. You should have sound right now. Yeah. So that's working. Oh wait, I can see VidVox audio. It's only one channel, but yeah, that's to be expected. It's only one channel. Yes, real Centipede. This one works fine, so it's a great tester to make sure my setup works. I'm trying to fix OBS because what is going on here? It's trying to make me. I want to get rid of this. Windowed, I think that's a lot better. Full screen it does not like. We do have to make some Fujinets today as well. I don't need any scene transitions. Oh man. Yeah, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Maybe if this works. Check this out. I don't understand what this used to just always be my fucking one screen. And now it's this program desk face. Go away. I don't want to see that. How did this even end up here? And this little thing in the middle of transitions, like this, like what the hell? Let's see, docs. Let's get this up. Ooh, it did not like me doing that. Chat is now broken. It's getting it back. I need Rusty Russ here to tell me. Okay, scene transitions is now gone. Good. Sources. Scenes. Yeah, I want both of those. Controls. Yeah, I need that. You can get a stats up. Let's see how bad this is doing right now. We have a little bit of rendering lag. A little bit of encoder lag, but everything's coming up right now, so I'm gonna give it a minute. You guys hear me okay? My transitions seem to work. Okay, there I am. Hi. When I do desk face cam now, you can see my face in the corner. And if I do this, you see desk face and you see that in the middle. We can refresh chat. I think chat is good though. So I can do that, and then I always see what you guys are seeing on that screen, which is very nice. And that's a black screen. Okay. Okay. So I guess first we'll do some very initial, I have the whole manual printed out here. We'll see how the stream does with input lag. Anyways, this is our fully working PCB. Some things I've noticed on it, move some shit around. Some things I've noticed on this are that some of the test points don't show me what I think they should be showing me. Like if I check some of these voltages, here it says I should see minus 22, here it says I should see plus 22, but in reality I only see like 14 volts on each of those. And that is true for every single PCB I've tested, and I have 4 of these Centipede boards. I have 2 working ones. What is that, a bug? I don't know what that is, dead bug I think. That bug was probably making this board work, and now it's not gonna work. Anyways, so I'm not really sure what, why that is. But right now we're not gonna see it as an issue, since it's also true for this working board, is that so there's tons of test loops they give you on this. 2 of them just have symbols, which I don't know, it's like fucking ancient runes. Over here in the corner there's 2 ancient rune fucking symbols. And then over here we got a lot of things like voltages, and then a lot of stuff that I don't know exactly what it's doing. I was looking for Watchdog Disable, and here it is. WDDIS, I assume is Watchdog Dis for Watchdog Disable. CNL, I'm not sure what that is. Minus 5 volt. We have odd, so audio 1 and 2. Let me turn my phone off because it's making noise at me. But this is a fully working PCB. It probably just needs a good clean. Okay, so this one can go in. I have 2 upright Centipedes. Well, 3 if you count the one in my basement, but that's not being sold. 2 upright Centipedes and 2 cocktail Centipedes, and all of them need working PCBs. And I have 3 PCBs, so I still need to buy another one. And if I get good with these ones at fixing them, I'll probably buy more and, you know, keep the gravy train going. But anyways, we need to switch to a broken one. So let's test another one and see what it's doing, and we'll see what the hell's going on. So to kind of give you a walk through the setup, because this is a pretty cool setup. This took me a long time to figure out everything I needed. We got a shit ton of adapters over here, don't we? So the first thing we have here is from Arcade Shop. It is a Centipede JAMA adapter. It says Arcade Shop right there. You probably can't read it because my camera's shit. Anyways, this does whatever is required to adapt the Centipede pinout to a JAMA pinout. Troy Dog, we have some Space Invaders boards to repair too, as well as a shit ton of Pac-Mans that we will get to one of these days. But we're starting with Centipede because that's what I have cabinets for. So, anyways, yeah. So this is the general adapter. I need to figure out what the CTUR jumper does. I'm really not sure. I didn't mess with it. When we oh, that's cocktail or upright. That's what that is. Duh. Okay, so that is just adapting the Centipede pinout, which is 2 different connectors, to JAMA, which is a standard for arcades in the 90s and today. I don't know when that was introduced, maybe late 80s, but definitely the 90s. Next, we have a Mr. Video board, and this is giving us an output video signal in composite that we can put into the video you're watching, into our VHS player that goes into our computer. And then finally, at the very end, is our JAMA tester with buttons. So I don't have to have a giant, you know, control panel with buttons and everything on it that I have to like drill into the table and that make this workbench only usable for that. Instead, I bought this, which has all the buttons you need to test pretty much any game, and all of these assume you have a JAMA connection. So we have our JAMA adapter, and then we have our video adapter, and then finally our test rig. And this test rig lets us do a lot of things. So just to show, if I go back to, well, actually, we're not totally done, right? Because how am I getting all this into here? So scoot that over. You can see here we have some connections. We have ground, 5 volt, minus 5 volt, and 12 volt, which are all the required voltages for this PCB to run. Okay, so the PCB needs the minus 5 volt and the 12 volt line to run its ROMs, which is really freaking annoying. I think it needs all 3 voltages to run the ROMs, actually, but it definitely needs 5 volt for all the other chips, right? And those other voltages make this complicated because I can't just take these proms and put them into a regular EEPROM reader, because my regular EEPROM reader doesn't have the required voltages present to turn the chip on, because it's only got 5 volt. It doesn't have the high voltage lines that these chips require. I think they do require 22 volts to initialize. That's why we have 22 volt buck-ups on the board. But anyways, then we have our regular power supply back here. And this is giving us our 5 volt, 12 volt, and our minus 5 volt, as well as our ground. Okay, so the tools of the trade here, to kind of show you, are this, let's get you centered back on here, this logic probe. This will allow us to check if signals are present and what they're doing, if they're high, if they're low, if there's anything there at all. Okay, so if I go ahead and transition you guys to this screen, now the composite signal is coming into our, there it is. We actually get a little bit of a hum, but I think that's from the power supply just because it's a shitty switching one. But anyways, this is also powered, this little probe is also powered off of our thing. So if I touch a pin, I see that switching. You hear it beeping. All right, and that's how we're going to determine if things are on or not. Okay, and I'm no expert at diagnosing this. I've read a bunch of stuff online, you know, and we're just going to go through it together. I know that one of the things we want to look for is the ROMs being on and being accessed. This one, ROM 2's stuck on, ROM 1's stuck on. I wonder if those just aren't being accessed because we're just sitting at the test screen. So if I hit start, do we have to put a coin in it? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong start, huh? Coin. What have I done? What have I done? Oh, we've upset it. We've upset it. What did we do? What did we do? Okay. So, here we go. This board was working intermittently when I would take it in and out of the cabinet, and I wasn't really sure why. Can we hit this reset button? Man, no, that reset button sucks on the board there. But here we are with a indication that it's not working, right? So the first thing I'm going to do to try to get this working again is I'm going to take all these chips out, and we're going to clean the legs, and we're going to put them back in, especially our two big chips down here, so I'll turn this back off, and we'll go to the screen. So the main things that run this thing are our CPU, which is a 6502, and this chip here, which is the Pokey, which is going to have a bunch of weird symbols on it, but just know that that's the Pokey. That does our sounds, and if I remember correctly, it does our random number generation that puts our little blocks on the screen in random locations, right? So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we take both of these out and just clean the legs with our handy tool, you know. And these boards are known to have pretty bad sockets, so it could be something as simple as a bad socket. And these Pokies are known to fail. But I think these are the same Pokies that are in Atari 2600 consoles, so I have tons of Atari 2600 consoles. And if we need to steal Poki chips, that's where we're going to steal them from. Need to put all this deoxit into like a dropper, like a little tiny eyedropper, which I did purchase at one time. I don't know where they went. I'd have to find them. Just like that. All right. Those are the two main chips that run our game. So to kind of walk you through how this whole operation works, so you have your CPU, you have your Pokey that does sound, your CPU runs the game, you have your ROMs that actually store the game code, and there's 6 of them to run Centipede because of storage requirement or storage, deficiencies at the time. So each one of these proms can only hold like, I don't know, a couple 100 kilobytes, and because of that, you need 6 of them to run your game. Now, you can do board modifications and get a modern EEPROM and put it into one spot. I think some of the game boards, like Space Invaders, actually give you jumpers you can connect and disconnect to change it to a single PROM. I don't know if Centipede does that or not, but anyways, you can do that if you want to save yourself some heartache of having to diagnose these super weird voltage chips. That would save you there. So with just those taken out and put back in, and they're nice and seated, we have 3 game boards. Okay, see, it's happy again. Don't know why it wasn't happy there for a second, but anyways, I really need to do a long burn-in test on this, but I'm trying to verify what I should see on most of these. And I see high on ROM 1, high on ROM 2, high and low on ROM 3. I'm trying to decide if the jumping around is my... Yeah, so that one's being accessed for sure. That one's being accessed. That one's not. Or is it? Yeah, that one's being accessed. That one's being accessed. That one's being accessed. So that's the one thing you want to see, is you want to see signals coming back and forth on all the ROMs to show that your ROMs are working. Hello everyone, by the way. Yeah. Hey Yank. The angry Yank. What's up? So I can start a game with my little test switch thing over here. So we can hit start and it starts a game, and you guys hear it. I don't, but in stream you should hear it. And then we could probe around if we wanted to and figure out, why does this game work and our other ones don't. So there you go. There you go. And that is how we're going to diagnose these. So this one is a working board, other than when we just did whatever we just did that really upset it. But this is definitely going to need a burn-in for a while in my cabinet. because it gets some weird, wacky weirdness every once in a while where it's very upset. So, and don't worry about the colors and all that. That's just because we're using we got like 15 adapters to get this onto stream. So I'm really not worried about the colors being off or being really low quality or all that. Like, I'm sure it's fine on an actual thing. So we do have a test stamp on here that says Test 5, August 29th of 1981, which I think is pretty cool. Anyways, okay. So now we can turn this off, and we can bring one of our non-working boards onto here. So the most annoying thing about this is these are edge connectors, and they don't like coming off. They definitely don't like coming off. So I'm in no way an expert. If you're here expecting me to breeze through these in a matter of minutes and you to learn a bunch on how to test arcade PCBs, I think you've came to the wrong place, if you ask me, because we are going to be going through this together. Now, have I done these in the past? Yes. Specifically Centipede? No. The only thing I've really worked on is Space Invaders. I wasn't very good at it either. I got like 2 boards working and then butchered a bunch of other ones, so. There we go. We might revisit those butchered boards one day, just for fun. See if we can get them unbutchered. I think that would be fun. Now that I'm a little bit more edumacated. Okay. So let's see what this one's doing. I don't remember in any specific order what they're doing, so. Okay. So this one just has a bunch of garbage on the screen, right? So I don't think the manual exactly gives us a for why for something like that. I know what the one thing we can check is see if our ROMs are being accessed. ROM 1 seems not to be. ROM 2, no. Oh, that one has a blip every once in a while. That one's being accessed. 3 is being accessed. And this one just says ROM with a line over it. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and then this one just says ROM. And ROM is switching back and forth. ROM 3 is switching back and forth. ROM 2 is not. ROM 1 also is not. Oh, I don't think ROM 1 is in there all the way. Yeah, it wasn't. Okay, now it is. Let's get those seated down all the way. Did that change anything? Get a lot more garbage. Nope, ROM 0 is still not being accessed. 1 is still not being accessed. 2 is intermittently being accessed. 3 is all the time, and ROM is all the time. So we can also check the watchdog is the pin 40 of our CPU, I'm pretty sure, which as you can see is going back and forth over and over and over again, which means our circuit is resetting over and over and over again, from at least what I understand. So what we can do to kind of circumvent that is we can ground or we can disable our watchdog and let it execute code, even though it's bad. And that doesn't seem to change much. Now, the other thing we can do is try service mode. That also doesn't seem to do anything. So the first thing you really want to check on this is our voltages. Now, I still don't understand exactly what's going on with our voltage paths, because two of these, like I said at the very beginning of the stream, 5 volt looks absolutely rock solid. 22 volt looks good as I've seen in the past. Minus 22 looks good as I've seen in the past. Because this is labeled 22 and minus 22, but in my experience, I only see 14 and minus 14. And that's true for the working board too. I don't know why that voltage is much lower than it is listed at. Minus 14 is at minus 13. We have some pretty dirty chips on here, I have to say. Plus 15 is at 12.75. So that might be a recap issue. Our minus 30 is at minus 23. But like all these voltages are always a little low, it seems. I don't know why that is. All of them are. Our minus 5 volt line, which is very important, is at minus 5. So I really think our voltages are okay. I think our voltages are okay because our game is running and we're seeing stuff. We're just getting junk on the screen, right? So I have the manual here, but I also have an even better tool at my disposal, which is the interwebs. And there's a guy who made a really nice guide. So Centipede board PCB repair. Let's see if I can find that again. Oh, this is actually better. This is a... Yeah, Lakeside Arcade, here we go. So what we can do is I can switch you guys to that screen. And we can look and see if we can find a similar issue to what he had, which we have something like this. I know on one of them I have something exactly like this, where the top is just empty and the bottom's all zeros. It might be the other board. So board dead, no picture in test mode. Removed and cleaned legs of all chips ever socketed. Verified replace missing and bad ROMs. 210 missing, 8, 9, 2, 1, 2 were bad. Checked for any hot chips, none. Oh, that's a good test as well, to just see, just touch them all and see if any of them are getting really hot. I always forget to do that. That's a very good diagnostic. And then also just visual inspection, right? I think one of these had some pretty corroded legs. This is not that board, it must be the other one. This board looks just fine. But I did have one that had some pretty corroded legs. Actually, this one's got some right here. It's got a few that got a little corrosion on the ends of the tips, but other than that, it's not like a Trace's 8 or anything like that. And that's this AM chip here. Anyways, board powers up and he sees this screen now. This tells me the sync circuit is working. I'm not sure if our video memory is working because we have a bunch of garbage, right? Yeah, so they should all be pulsing with the logic probe. Turns out ROM 0 is stuck. From the schematic, the 74LS139 at J2, J2, which also has some corroded legs, is the one that cycles through the ROM lines. ROM 1, 2, 3 are all pulsing, and ROM 0 is stuck high. Pins 13, 14, 15 seem to be doing their work. Next up is to replace J2 and see if the machine passes the watchdog. Replace the chip at J2, no change. Learned yet another new thing. On the Centipede board, there is test points to disable the watchdog circuit. If you jump the disable watchdog test point to ground, the CPU will run the RAM check without the watchdog interrupting. Once I did this, it signaled RAM chip 2's bad, then signaled 7's bad. More of the story, make sure the RAM self-test is actually running. I thought it was, turns out it wasn't. One more item for my triage checklist. Replace RAM 7 at M7. Now it tests and plays. So, this is the cocktail manual, which I don't think. Self-test procedures. So this is really the only help we get. This is self-test. But if the self-test doesn't run, then you're shit out of luck, which is kind of where we're at, where our self-test does not even run. Yeah, we just get tons of random characters. If we test our ROMs, I see nothing being accessed on ROM 0. I get a signal on ROM 1, but I don't see any low. Yeah, so 0, 1, and 2 ROMs are not being accessed. They're not being accessed at all. This is the chip in charge, this J2. And he looks really messed up, not gonna lie. And he's a 74LS139, which I might have 74LS139s. Might just be able to swap him. Is he one of the pinball ones? I don't think 139. Oh, well, no, 138 is the pinball one. Oh, how tragic. 74LS136. I have so many chips and not the one I need. Of course, of course. 74LS112, 74LS113. LS168. Yeah, we'll have to see. But I will say that that thing is pretty messed up. Hello, Attic. It's got some pretty bad corrosion on the legs, Mr. J2. And his rust is going all the way into the chip. So, yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna call him sus. He's very sus. So we're going to put a question mark next to him so I remember. Because all the other chips, there's a few chips on here that are a little rusty. This guy is. This guy is. A lot of these 74 154s are. It's kind of amazing this board runs at all, right? With all the rust on here. There's a 139 over here that's got some rusty legs. But the main issue is that some of our code isn't running. It's not accessing ROM 0, 1, or 2. 3 is though, and 4 is, which is why we get at least a screen. Now, it's not going to run the test. We can disable the watchdog, but it's not going to do anything because we got issues on the screen. Now, if I start a game, is it going to do anything? Does it? Wonder. Here, let me turn my sound up. You guys hear anything? Because I don't. It looks like there is something there, though. All right. So I'm going to see if I can find me that chip, and then also does this give us full schematics in the back here? No, it doesn't, I don't think. It wouldn't be this far in the front. Okay, no, it doesn't give us full schematics. It just gives us a picture of the board and all the chips. Okay, well, we can use what that guy was looking at, which was... Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so address decoder. So here, that's the outputs to, that's J2, yeah. And that's the output lines to ROM, ROM1, ROM2, ROM3, and ROM0. So if we check pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is ROM3, which is working. Yep. So ROM3, we see a signal. ROM2, which is pin 10, we see a signal, because that one's also working. ROM1 is 11. Yep. Ah, we see a signal in ROM 11, or, right? 9, 10, 11. We don't, oh, we do see it now. Okay, I see them now. What do we see on our screen? Okay, still garbage, still garbage. But I do see all ROMs being accessed now, which is good. Okay, but we still have a garbage screen. Let's turn it off. I talk about screwing for 2 hours. That's just profound. Pontificate. Okay, so let me do some research on this. So I'm going to change you guys to just... Let me go back to my mans. So video circuit is working if you get a screen full of garbage. Okay, so we can test the 6502. Probed 6502, no activity from most if not all, replaced it. Machine boots with a screen filled with zeros on the lower half, board watchdog past watchdog, very faint sound, piggybacked an LM324, we now have sound, socketed and replaced. Diag test ports, bad RAM at K3, socketed and replaced, no other RAM reporting bad. Diag mode showed normal Centipede screen, corn and start buttons. Okay, so I think the first thing we'll do here is we will take our CPU out and replace him with the one out of the good one and see if he works then. This also might be the same CPU in 6502. Is that what's in Atari 2600s? I honestly have no freaking idea. Is that Sally? No. Anyways, let's take the 6502 out of our working board. And I need to buy more of these. Put it in this one. Get that socketed in there, good. All right, let's see if that changes anything. Is that in the right way around? Yes, it is. Okay, now we get absolutely nothing. That's interesting. Is that all socketed right? Yeah, it sure is. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we still get garbage. And if I hit the test button, doesn't change anything. Now if I short the watchdog, no. Okay. So I don't think it's the CPU's fault. Now I know for a fact that this can run without the pokey, but a bad pokey can give you issues. So I'm going to take the pokey out. Pokey's out. Turn it on again. We're learning together, Crazy. We're learning together, man. So this board should boot without the Pokey installed. There it goes. That took a long time to turn on, so we definitely have some bad caps to go through. And it's absolute garbage on the screen. It's very unhappy garbage. So I'll probably go ahead and order some recap kits for this. And we'll do those. Okay, with the Pokey in, it's much more happy, but it's still... Put the old CPU back in. Did we clean the legs on this? Sure looks like we did. Is black every color or no color? I think it's no color. I think we're missing color. We'll put the CPU back before I get them confused. Time is it? Is it 11 yet? Or is 10 yet? No, we got another 10 minutes. Put him back in. So I need to figure out why I'm not hearing anything, because I should at least hear beeping, and I think it's just because OBS isn't playing it for me. Because if I get my phone and go on stream, wait, you guys aren't seeing it? You guys haven't been seeing it this whole fucking time? What the hell, man? It says I'm on that scene. Alright, I need... God damn it. Why is it... It's got... Can you see it now? Yeah, it is OBS, pissing me off. You're getting a beautiful sound now, too. I'm going to mute that so you don't have to listen to it. Okay, I thought you guys were looking at the screens with me that whole fucking time, and apparently not. I'm so sorry. I've been... We're an hour into this, and I thought you've been looking at all this with me this whole time. Damn it. Thanks, Troy Dog. That's really annoying. I got this... Okay, someone who knows OBS here. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. This used to... Up here at this top part... used to just be one screen. Now it's got this fucking transition button that I have to click, and then it shows you what I want. It has a preview over here. I don't want this shit. I don't want preview. Quick. There. That's what I want. And now you guys see what I see, I hope. Hey, we have color now. So color eventually decided to join the party. So yeah, I think we definitely have some bad caps. Let me do a touch test. I'm just going to go down the board and see if anything gets really hot. Also, some things might change when I... Oh yeah, I think we stopped the... I think the resetting stopped. That's fun. Everything is cold to the touch, pretty much. CPU is hot. Not overly hot though, it's just running. Man, that upsets me so much. I'm sorry, guys. Definitely want to clean all these legs on these chips because they got surface rust on them and now I don't have the ability to test the ROMs because we need a super old programmer to do that. And I have one, but I need to get it working. And that will be a whole nother stream, won't it? But I'm pretty sure I went through and reseated all of these already. And cleaned the legs. Yeah, I think I did. I don't think I did that on the last board yet, though. Sometimes just quickly reseating these is what cleans it up. Got some high grit sandpaper here on the legs. Just a good clean. And only take out one at a time because you can't. But I think we're past the point where it's a program problem because we're getting, well, the program's attempting to run. It's just not fully running because we're not getting to the self-test. Well, that is, we got how many more socketed chips? 2. Let's just do these while we're in here doing all the socketed chips. Definitely didn't take these out last time. Oh yeah, that's dirty as shit. You can also tell this is a cocktail one because all the dust is on the one side and these sit in that table. In that orientation. That one doesn't even look dirty. So right off the bat, we get beeping. I think I muted that for you guys so you don't have to listen to it. But we don't get any picture for a while. There it goes. Ooh, okay. So now we're executing code, and we see H, and we're resetting over and over and over again. So I should be able to disable the watchdog by shorting this pin here and get it to say something else. Let me see here. So if I short the disable watchdog, see, it's not resetting anymore because it's just a constant beep now. I think I'm gonna subject you guys to that for a second. All right, now you hear it, just constant beeping. And if I short the watchdog, it's no longer resetting, but we just get an H. Okay? So this is the program actually running, and it is giving us, ooh, it just changed to F. And if I short the watchdog, it just says F and stops resetting. Goes back to H. So H and F mean something, okay? Now, I don't think it means, we're supposed to have a number with it. Oh, now it went away. Oh. So that is definitely where we're going to start. H and F. It's going back and forth between H and F. Okay, so if we look at the self-test, we see that usually you can tell what's failing based on what you get out of the self-test. So RAM failure is indicated by 1 to 10 beeps. Note the number of beeps and determine RAM to be bad. To reset the test, press the reset push button on the PCB to set the self-test switch to off, and then again to the on position. Okay? So ours just says H and then F. So failing ROM prom chip location, F/H1 displayed number 2. So it's supposed to give us a number, not a letter. This is just telling us the letter. So it should be giving us a number, not a letter. And the self-test doesn't say anything about getting letters. Let me turn it on again and see if we can actually hit buttons to change what happens on screen. So if I go back and we turn it on, and it takes it a while to actually give us a display, which is probably telling me it needs a cap kit, so I will definitely give it a cap kit. Don't worry about that, I'll buy one. The other one I didn't buy a cap kit, I just did a bunch of standing caps and... Oh, wow, look at that. Awesome. Yeah, and it just says H, so if I hold the test button... that for you guys. I'm gonna mute that for me too. So the test button doesn't do anything because the watchdog's resetting over and over again. But what if I hold that and short the watchdog? So watchdog shorted. Nothing. Okay, let me mute that for you guys again, because that's awful. Get back here. Let's turn that board off. Yeah, I can't count the number of beeps because it never stops beeping. If I don't hold the reset button, it just beeps forever. Now, it should beep a number of times and stop, but it doesn't. It just beep, 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 beep. It just goes forever. Okay, so I think the first thing we want to do is make sure our program's running. Oh yes, that's crazy. This will be very tough. We will spend a lot of time on this. You can guarantee that. So the first thing I want to do is mark all these so that I can put them back. And one at a time, we're gonna, so this one is in D1, right? me see, D1, D1. So we're going to swap them with the known good, because we just need to get the program to run. And this will tell us if we have bad EEPROMs or not, which is the one thing I can't test. I can't test my EEPROMs because I need a really old machine to test these PROMs that I currently have, but not in a working capacity. So we can put that one in, and let's see if that changes anything. So we're going to keep doing this. Nope. So we'll probably do one at a time too, just to, you know. And let me mute that for you guys. I did mute that for you guys. Okay, I'm going to mute it for myself too, because it's, well, I'll just turn it down. Eventually, this should show us something. Seems to take it a while. It's the same beeping. Usually the PROMs are good. The EEPROMs are pretty battle tested and don't really fail a lot. But you never know, so we're going to go through them real fast and just see if we can find a bad one. Because if we can get the program to run, then we can go through self-test. We can go through self-test, then we're doing pretty good. That one didn't want to come out. Okay, replacing that one, I get a constant tone now. Well, we seem to have also lost our picture for some reason. Just leave that on for a while. Ah! Okay. We're back here again. That one doesn't seem to be sitting right. That's the worst thing about these things, is they don't want to sit. You don't want to hurt their legs either, because that's a bitch. Ah, come on, sit in there right, damn it. Sit in there right. There we go. Okay, they all look like they're sitting good now. Okay, we're back to the beeping. The white screen. And we're back to H. There's also a number in the corner that we can't see because it's off screen. I don't know if I can fix that in this. Still. Okay, we'll put this one back. We'll try these two, see if that changes anything. If not, I don't think it's our EEPROMs. I don't think we're even getting to the full code run. So something is stopping our CPU from executing, and it's not the watchdog, because if we disable the watchdog, our CPU doesn't do much of anything now, does it? It just kind of hangs out. So, nope, same thing. I usually like to do a ton of research on stuff and then kind of bring it to you guys, because I kind of want just this to be, you know, moneymaker, fix it, other than at the beginning when Yank was just directing me on how to fix damn near anything. Thank you for that. Okay, so still, there's definitely something in the bottom corner there. I just can't read it. That's not in all the way. I can tell you that. There it is. Ah, that's different. So I'm going to start on this with a cap kit, that's for sure. And then I'm going to need to go through and find what... So if we hit that button and we ground the... Yeah, just garbage. Just garbage. Let's take you out of that. Turn that off. Let's see if this guy gets an answer. Okay, this guy never got to an end, of course. I love forum posts that just like, I'm having this problem, and then just like, die. Let's see if our friend on the Lakeside PCB has constant. Constant. Nope. Okay. Here's one. This guy's got something interesting. Perfect grid. Perfect grid with white dots and two little pink red squares. I worked on a lot of centipedes, never seen this one. Probing, I determined the game was not in reset and it was not watchdogging. The watchdog was getting cleared by executing code. It still was lock solid. I pulled a socketed ROM and got it to start beeping, but it was just beeping continuously, not a location. The only ROM getting accessed was the one with the self-test code, J1. I'm still not convinced that it's not our pokey. Crazy thing is, without the pokey, we still get beeping. Check our voltages again. Rock solid 5 volt. Where's that -5 at? There you are. Yeah, it takes a long time for those voltages to come up. I'm going to keep reading that manual. Okay, so let me check something. So 6502, 6502, pin out. What pin is our clock supposed to be on? Clock is let's sync. .37 is supposed to be our clock. So, ooh, we can try this on stream real fast. Check this out. Is this going to work? Oh no, definitely not, because it's not plugged in. Knock all this loud metal shit on the floor. No, it is plugged in. Oh. Let's see. If I open that up. Okay, give me 1 second. I will be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. And then we gotta put some Fujinets together, but we might test this a little bit more. Test the other board a little bit too. Honestly, I forgot I had this. I forgot I bought this online a long time ago to go with my Centipede down here, so I would have it. So we have a wiring diagram, there's the power supply schematic, test connector for the cat box, which, God, I wish we had that, but we don't. Synchronizer, that's for that setup. Pulling door. Yeah, none of this is really helpful. None of this is the PCB. Regulator audio 2 PCB. Tool functions regulating the 5-volt logic power to the game PCB and amplifying the audio from the game PCB. Q1. Okay, so that's just audio crap. So there's nothing in here that's really helpful to our cause. This might be on this side. This is our microprocessor. So we can see where the watchdog comes in. And there's reset on 40. I don't know why the lines appear on my camera. It must just be the frequency of the fucking lights or something. It's really annoying. Okay, so there's our ROM. Our power input. Is our 22 volts made on the board, or is it made... C20 X2. Okay, I just want to know where my clock is. That goes to all that down there. I don't think it's noted on here. But the internet did tell me that clock input is that I symbol, phi 0. Internally, the clock generates phi 1 and phi 2. Ah, here's phi 0. So phi 0 is our incoming clock signal. Look at all this great paperwork I got. Signature analysis guide. This is all cat box stuff, which I don't have a service cat box. This is just Centipede, which we already have the book for that. And this is a... Ooh, what are you? might be what I've been looking for. Video output circuitry, high score memory, trackball circuitry. It's on this side. Centipede playfield RAM, playfield multiplexer. Okay. Anyways, let's get these out of the way. I bought all those books from some random website a long time ago. The Pokemon Centipede has no clock? What? No fucking way. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat tonight, guys. We're trying to fix some stuff, and I have to use all my fucking brain power to work on this type of stuff. Okay. Okay, so this is channel 2. So we're gonna probe channel 1, and this is our ground, and this is our clock. Actually, let's get the ground over here. Ground. And this should be our clock. And I should be able to set that up. So channel 1, auto trigger. So let's make sure I don't have anything touching anything it shouldn't. And I'm good there. If I turn it on, and I should be able to show you guys this by going here and turning this one on. Okay, never mind. No, it's not that. What is it under? A window? Yep. There. So our clock seems to be jumping around a little bit. Not gonna lie. This is a 12096 crystal. So the system's master clock runs on 12, which is what we're seeing. So that looks okay. I can get rid of that now, which is oscilloscope. And then you guys are back to looking at my ugly mug. The CPU clock frequency is toggling back and forth from 1.5 to 750. Worked my way backwards. LS244, LS107, LS32. Got to LS32 at E3, which is attached to the input side of the PF active low signal. Piggybacked a new chip and the game booted into test. see. What are we seeing on this? Nothing? Oh no, it's something because it's black. Yeah, it is giving us a picture. There it is. Okay. So if we look at the oscilloscope, I see our 12, 5 kilohertz. But this guy on the internet says CPU clock frequency was toggling back and forth between that and that. I1 and I0 and Phi1 are both 12.5 kilohertz. So why is he saying what are you oohing at me? What are you oohing? Is this on? Yeah, it's on. I think our clock is good. Do we see our clock on 37 on here? So 40, 38, 40, 39, 38, 37. Yes, I do see it. But I don't know why we're seeing 12.5 on that if he says on here. Spent some time trying to figure out what was messing with D4, D7. Centipede is pretty simple on the booting side of the CPU. Address lines all look good. Something caught my eye. The CPU clock frequency was toggling back and forth from 1.5 megahertz to 750 kilohertz on the scope. Worked my way backwards, following the slow clock. 1.5 megahertz. We're at 12 kilohertz. What's he mean 1.5 megahertz? Oh wait, yeah. CPU clock is 1.5 megahertz. Master clock sync is 12 megahertz. We're seeing the 12 megahertz. I see 12.5 kilohertz on my CPU Phi 0. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this proves to us that this is wrong. This frequency is not being divided. It shouldn't be 12, get out of my way, 12.5. It should be much higher than that. So one of our dividers isn't working. Let me get that back up on here for you. So we're seeing the raw 12.5. Okay. It's going to be a little sketch for a second, so bear with me. What do we see on that? That's the wrong leg. Why do I see nothing? This is our ground, right? Yeah, this is definitely our ground. Ah, okay, we have some test points right here. Okay, so this should be 12 megahertz. That should be 12 megahertz, huh? Make sure that pin's clean. That looks really fucked. 83 kilohertz. And then this one next to it says 4H. I don't know what that means. So this says 6 megahertz. Are we doing something fucky? That's only 500 kilohertz. I don't have this messed up, right? To where I'm changing this isn't going to do anything, right? DC, AC. It is DC. So 50 kilohertz, and that's on our 6 megahertz test lead. And then the 12 megahertz test lead gives us 125 kilohertz. So, yeah. And this 12 megahertz, I think, should be straight from our clock. What do you guys think? That doesn't look right at all. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to get the good working board, and I want to plug it in and see what I see on that. If I see all those signals correctly, to prove to myself that I'm not just being a fucking idiot, which I like to do quite often. Okay, so this was our working board. Now we did take all the chips out and put them back in, so we could have broken it by doing that, but oh well. This one at least has new caps throughout. Oh, come on. There we go. So if we turn this one on, let's see what we see on the desk. Do we still have a good working game? Of course not. Of course not. Oh. Well, that... I think we put our CPU in backwards. That probably fried him. Good job, jackass. Let's see. Flip him around, see if he's fried. Yeah, I'd say he's fried. Good job, jackass. Okay, let's take this one. Let's see. If we put him in here, what does he do? Does that change anything? Nope, just ticking. See if all of our things are seated as they should be. That one's not. Now, are you all seated? Kind of. Was this our working board or was it that one? I'm starting to think. I'm not sure anymore. I don't think it's that causing the issue because it's just beeping like mad at me. I hate taking these in and out of these sockets because they are so prone to fuck up. Like this socket keeps not, my pins aren't really sitting like I would like. Straighten out those legs and that feels a lot better. Okay. Okay, no, this is definitely the board that was working because we have our, it has our recap. Now it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I pushed on one of these chips and it came to life. So, one second, I'm getting there. Okay, so this chip here, that one's got a bad connection. But it is playing now. Oh yeah, it's mad. It's very mad. Where's did our puller go? Where did I put our puller? Oh, there you are. Let's pull him and reseat him. Pushing on this guy brought him back. It looks like it's in all the way. The old push test. Yeah, pushing on that chip brings it back every time. Okay, so this has got a bad socket. So if I let go, it goes away. We can go into test mode. That's what test mode's supposed to look like, by the way. The second I let off of that chip, it's not happy again. It's definitely in all the way though. Alright. That's better. Yeah, we're going to have to reflow this socket, so we're going to put a... Because we're not doing any much solder work tonight, so... Bad socket. Write that there. Okay, but now we can do what we actually wanted to fucking do, which was, now that the game is running, we can go to this, go to our oscilloscope, and we can see if our test points look like what they should look like, which is 12 megahertz and 6 megahertz. So 12, no. See, that's not right, according to, so we need to let's do an auto. Doing this on here sucks, because I don't, there it is. 12.2. Okay, so it's just an auto scale issue. Do we have 6 megahertz here? Yes, we do. And what do we have over here on these two? So on 0, this is why you got to learn how to use oscilloscope. So then we need to auto scale again. And that is the 1.55 megahertz that we should be expecting on that line. And there is the 1.55 we should see on Phi 2. Alright, and the game is still not exactly happy, but it's happy enough for our current purposes. Right? And let's make sure that the CPU is... Did we fry that CPU when we put it in backwards? I don't remember which one is the one that was in here. I think it was this one. Oh no. Honestly, that looks better than the other one. Colors are still messed up, but I'm not really worried about that right now. Socket seems happy now. We're still going to reflow all the sockets, so... we don't have any color, which is strange. But that might be a sync issue. Let's see if I mess with this sync, does it change? No. So we just don't have any color at the present moment. And we'll figure that out at another time. Because right now, this is a working game board other than not having color. So let's check our voltages now that we know how the fuck to use an oscilloscope. Okay. So this, again, is our mostly working PCB. Mostly. And we can go back to this one. No, this is the one we haven't done yet. We can go back to this one. Put his CPU back. And tonight I'll order a cap kit for these. I have lots of stuff to buy. I wish I could just buy, like, axial capacitor bins. Okay. Honestly, that looks like our issue has changed. Oh, nope, there's the beeping. This one at least has color, I guess. Okay, so... if we take our oscilloscope And let's do this one first because it's already set up for that. So we'll go back to desk. All right, so that's our 15 megahertz. Ah, this is doing what his was doing. You see that dip? Uh-huh. Yeah, there's the 733 kilohertz that the other guy was seeing too. And what did he trace that down to? Something caught my eye. The CPU clock frequency was toggling back and forth from 1.5 megahertz to 750 kilohertz on the scope. Worked my way backwards through LS244, LS107, LS32, LS42, following the slow clock. Got to LS32E3, which is attached to the input side of the active low signal. At E3. And that is a 74 LS32, which I think I have 74 LS32s, don't I? Yeah, I do. So what I'll do, while you guys are looking at that, let's see if I piggyback that chip, does it fix our problem? So piggybacking is the art of, let me make this screen not so freaking big. I don't know if you can actually read what's on there though. No, probably not. Most definitely not. Okay, so we're gonna piggyback this chip. Let me turn it off to do that. Still looks like it's doing it. I see the 700. You guys say I'm too quiet? How's that? Bring that up. Okay, what is our game doing though? No, same thing. Okay. So let's see, what else can it be? An LS224, a 244 at B1. LS107 at L4, LS32 at J3. Let's try that one, J3. J3 LS, no, that's an LS10. Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong one. J3, there it is, 32. At J3. Let's see if that brings our signal steady. Okay. Can we boot into test? No. I will say that does seem to have made our signal better. I don't see that. Oh, no, there it went. It just dropped again. Damn it. Okay, because what we can do is we can get our book, or our... Did this show where the clock came from all the way down to the... Which one was it? Was it you? No. It's got to be this one. Yeah. Okay, so our microprocessor, that's 2, here's 1, goes through the 224, it goes through this LS107, and then it goes to J3, and then it ends. Oh, let me get you. So we'll get rid of oscilloscope for now. So the way this thing works is, here's our clock. Our clock goes through this LS244, in at pin 2 and out at pin 18. Then it goes through this LS107 at L4. So if we turn this on, let's see if we can follow that clock and see if we can see it not doing that somewhere. So first we can start, the first thing it goes through is 18 at B1, so that would be this pin right here. Yep, and we definitely see the garbage on there, which is the random down switching. Put that up so you guys can see it. Okay, do we see that on the input side? So that's pin 2. Yes. Yes, we do see it. That should be rock solid, and we keep seeing dropouts. Yep, there's the 750, it dropped out there. Okay, so if we go back from there, we go to L4. L4, so L4 all the way over here. And L4 output is 5, and the clock input is 9. I don't know if that's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's its full clock input, which is the regular 3 megahertz signal. And that's rock solid. But on 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's our signal of 1.5 megahertz for our CPU. And then we have 8 and 11 coming in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's not going to be the clock signal. and 11. There's the clock signal. Ah, and that looks rock steady, Mr. 74LS107. Look at that. That's a really clean clock there, huh? Don't see that dipping and diving. But on the output side of this, which is pin 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, we do see the dipping, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do see the dipping and diving. See that? But why? So what is an LS107? It's the next logical question, right? What is it doing? So it is taking two signals from J3 on 8 and 11. Was J3 one of the ones we were gonna jump? Wasn't J3 one we jumped? J3, yeah, that's one of the 32s. And it's, okay, and this J3 has a bunch of symbols on it that go into pins 8 and 11 on the LS107, which is PF line, 4H, and 2H. I don't know what any of that fucking means. But I know our output on our LS107 is bad. Where did he go again? L4? Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody? How we got to this conclusion? I don't know if the LS107 is our problem. But I can turn my voice up. Here, I'll be louder. There you go, I'm louder now. It's definitely not good. So 8 and 11 come in. 8 and 11. And it comes in from pins 3 and 6 of J3. So J3, pins 3 and 6. I wish it would tell us more of where that came from, but it doesn't. Pin 3. And pin 6. Let's go to another schematic part. It's 4H line, and we got 4H not line. We got PF with a line above it. That's just a coin door and shit, so that's not helpful. So we definitely have an issue on our clock line. But what is it? Is it the... Is it one of the 32s? The 32s are very dirty. It would not very much. Let me clean these legs off real good so I can actually get a good touch on them. And then we will go back over here and touch here and connect that right there so that we can see that signal. And there's our dips. Then we can take our buddy here and we can try him on some of these, which is the 74 LS32, which is this guy up here. Honestly, that does seem to make it better, but it's still got those weird dropouts. And the game's not booted at all. Sorry about that, guys. We're trying our fucking best here. Our fucking best, okay? Alright, there's the garbage we usually see, so. At least it was there for a second. I will say, that does seem better. Is it like still dropping out some? Yeah, it's still dropping out sometimes. And then where's the other one? J3. E3 and J3. Yeah, it's still doing it. Yeah. Okay, so that's as far as this takes us. That's also as far as this guy's guide takes us, because he worked my way backwards through LS32 J3, LS42 at H3, 74 LS42 at H3. Test. About F3. That's a 32 as well. Nope, I just watched it do it again. What have we done to piss this off? I'm not even getting anything on the screen anymore. Ooh, we had some cool rolling there. Huh. Is that just a bad sync? Because we were fucking with the sync. No. It's weird that I can take this out and put it in and see something for a second. That might be a failure of our adapter. We just get a rolling picture. I don't know, we might have found it. It might have been F3 because I haven't seen it do it again. Now if I take that off, it's not going to do it again now. Do we touch the right chip? That clock looks pretty good now. We make 1 step forward and 5 steps back, right, everybody? Yeah, I haven't seen it do it again. But we just have a blue screen now. It's not. That might be because we have a bigger issue now. Because we're just not running at all. "12 signal looks good. 6 looks good. Output looks good. Input looks good." Okay, but now we have no picky. No picture. And if I turn it off and back on, it's like we have a picture for a second. Okay, let's see. If I put this into my... This might be a failure of my shitty ass. Let's see, if I put this just direct into my monitor, is it because of... Yes, change to that. Yeah, okay. So now, I just have a scrolling screen. It's just scrolling. I can't get it to come up right on the capture card, but that's what it's doing. Or, yeah, through the Sony. You know what? We should go around the Sony we should go around this. So we have changed our issue. If I put this into the vid box and change this back, input to that. Okay. You saw it for a second. Yeah, this is a failure of the VidBox. It's not getting the signal right. But if I put this into a monitor, I see a scrolling mess. Oh, now I don't. Now I see nothing. What the hell? I did see a scrolling mess. There it is. I just see scrolling. Okay, let me see here. Let's see if, now that we've changed our issue, scroll. So now if I hold the test button and boot it, it does the same thing. It just scrolls garbage. I don't see a lot of help on scrolling garbage either. And I know if I Google scrolling screen, it's going to be a bunch of people with fucked up V-Syncs. Yeah, monitor issue, monitor issue. It's not a monitor issue. Oh wait, shit. Is it a sync issue? No, sync doesn't change anything. Oh, I got it to center by changing the color. Interesting, interesting. Let me do the push method on all these. Doesn't seem to change anything. Push on those. Nope, just scrolling. Push on all these. Still got us rock solid VCC or rock solid clock. Seem to have a rock solid clock. I haven't seen it crap out on me. I don't know what we did to fix it other than piggybacking that one, but now we just get a scrolling garbage screen. And scroll. I guess this could be a adapter issue, the scrolling part. But if I hit test, the garbage doesn't change. Okay, let me get you guys back somewhere where you can see what the hell's going on. I don't think it's gonna... Well, I'll plug this back into here, but I don't think it's gonna help because for some reason the sync is not syncing. Okay. Okay, can you hear me again? Yeah, okay. Voice is good. That clock seems good too. Clock seems good. Let's check our other PCB now, just for funsies. Let's see if we can fix our other one. And we'll go from there. I wonder why our voltage is so low on the... Is it because we're powering all these adapters and it's not meant to be powering all this shit at once? I mean, I can't imagine anything but the 5 volts being used on all these boards. So... Okay, anyways, yeah, let's switch to the other PCB real fast and see if we can just get a quick win. I don't think we're going to, but then, yeah, because you guys can't see anything on the screen there, which is very strange. Because I see a scrolling screen and you guys see nothing. So we'll buy a recap kit for this, that's for damn sure. So we'll write our diagnosis on this. Clock issue, scrolling garb. Get you back to this cam. Okay, let's swap PCBs. Like that. And is everything as it should be? Yes, this is the one we haven't even touched yet. So let's see what we get on this one. Okay, we get garbage, but that's not so bad garbage. That's workable garbage. Ah, see, it's wanting to scroll again. I don't know why. Let's get this up here. Close this. And then open preview on LG. I don't know what the scrolling problem is because it wasn't doing this before. Okay, it was the sync. There we go. Okay, so there's garbage on the screen. And if I boot it in test mode, ooh, I can force it into test mode. Let's see if I can hear. Is there any audio at all? We got to plug in our audio, don't we? That would help. That would help. I don't hear anything. Now, if we turn it off and we turn it on, we got garbage on the screen. If I go into test mode, it's just absolutely blank. I wish we got a noise out of it. We don't get any noise out of it. No beeping, no nothing. And then when we're not beeping, we're sitting here like this. So let's see. We're gonna take, let's push on all of them. See if that changes anything. No. Let's check our voltages. We have a rock solid 5 volt. Our minus 30 is there. Our minus 22 is there. Our plus 22 is there. Our minus 5 is there. Our 12 is there. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so what if I disable the watchdog and boot service? Still just nothing on the screen. Okay. So let's see if we got all of our clocks, which I think we do because we are getting a screen that isn't completely awful. So let's go, yeah, this is good. This screen will be fine for you guys. And then I need this up. Yes. Okay, so let's check. Shut up. Ground here. That one looks pretty rock steady like the other one did. So I think our clock is fine. So the next thing that it seems most people do is the game can run without the pokey. So we should be able to at least get to the test screen. And if we have a bad pokey, then that will be an issue. So without the pokey in. See, people say that, and I don't experience that. I get nothing with the pokey in. I get absolutely nothing. Okay, it has definitely changed. We can now boot into self-test and get Garbo. Absolute Garbo. What if I do test and ground that? Still no beeping of any kind. Releasing the test switch gives us different garbage, so okay. Now I'm going to just start cleaning and putting chips back in. Nah, this pokey's even got a little rust on him. Come on, buddy. There you go. My God, he did not want to come out of there. This one looks pretty good. Other than him not wanting to come out of there. Let's get you on this cam. Okay. That is not sitting right. Now it, man, it always wants to lean one way or the other. I don't know what that's about. Now it's flat. All right, do the same to CPU. Two more RAM or EEPROM chips. Okay, let's see. Did that change anything? Did we put anything in backwards, first of all? Make sure not. Nope. That all looks good. All right. Okay, so we still get garbage. Ooh, and if I hold test, it goes to nothing. Ooh. Okay. We must give up for now. But we will get there. I think this is the one that had the corrosion on the board. Yeah, it does. It has some corrosion on some resistors over here. And some pins over there too. So that will probably be our first thing, is just going through all these and figuring out what just have bad connections because they're gross on the bottom. This one on top looks really good though. I don't see any, oh, that pin looks shorted. Oh no, that's just the chip? What is that? I guess it's just the chip. Oh yeah, it was, okay. Yeah, there's very few chips on here that look very gross, unlike that other one. Okay, and I need to build some Fujinets, or I'm not going to get paid, and I like to get paid. So, hitting reset doesn't do much either. So, anyways. Yeah, so the next thing we need to do is check address lines on the CPU, make sure we have a working CPU. And I got to figure out if this setup is good enough. I mean, I know it's good enough for very basic test setup, but we got a lot of adapters on here, and I don't know if this is going to work like this. Okay, yeah, let's go to the Fujinets, because I need to go to bed very soon, and I got to get one more Fujinet put together tonight. So let me change cam. And we will go to desk cam, and I will take the oscilloscope off, and then I will do this, that, this. There we go. Let's center that real good. All right, Fujinet. Pins and pins. That's all we got to do is solder pins. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do the one tonight because I'm very tired, and that one is all I need to get caught up on current orders. But yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get down on in there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Man, I'm good. Pulled out the exact amount I needed, huh? Okay, now we got to get all these lined up with the holes. Oh, am I doing? Yeah, I'm being a fucking retard, that's why. This is like the hardest part, man. Getting these fucking pins in these holes. 3D print's supposed to make it easier, but it don't. Of course, this Fujinet's gonna fight me more than any Fujinet's ever fought me before, just because I'm trying to go to bed. Alright, one more pin. There it is. There it fucking is. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now let's do the other side. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That should be all of them. Okay, now I want a male connector. Male connector. We'll put this on. And then we'll put this on. Trying to make it so these pins line up better. Because as it sits right now, they line up, but not very good. I figured if I put the male 3D print on here, they would line up a lot better when it came to put something else in here. It's not tall enough. There we go. Let's see how that does. See if that helps it line up in there. Now, that's not to say it doesn't work, because it does work, it's just not very pretty. when they don't line up perfectly. So thank you. Oh, we had one fall through. What happened there? Did he get too hot? Alright, let's see. Did that help at all? Not really. They still look all over the damn place. And we had one pin that kind of fell through, which I don't know if I've had that happen before. That's just a 3D print problem. That just came through the print, right? Yeah, it did. There, pushed him back. He should be good now. Yeah, it's just for aesthetic purposes because this will plug into a, like right here I have one. This will plug into this connector. No problem. See, it's just aesthetically it would look better if it didn't, you know, if they were actually perfectly straight, it would look so much better. But this is a hobby grade thing. We can't ask for perfection, I guess. Actually, that's pretty damn good like that. It's pretty damn good. Alright, we can put that back on. And then I don't think this guy ever answered me on what color he wanted, so... He's getting default bronze. That's what I give everybody who doesn't give me a color option. They get default bronze. Okay, there it is. All right, let's get our screws. We're gonna have to get a bit. There we go. That is a fully assembled Fujinet. All right. Oh, did that fucking wall break? I think it did. I heard it. That's what I get for over-tightening. I think we had a 3D print failure just then. Can't tighten it that tight. Let's see. No, it looks okay. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, we're good. Fantastic. All right, I gotta go test this. I gotta get my other 2 ready to go ship out. I have to ship out 2 more Pi Colecos, which thank God I got 2 ready to go. And yeah, I think I have to ship out 3 Pi Colecos, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember. But I have 3 of them ready to go. And that will clean me out of house and home yet again. All right, well, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. It was a late night. I'm exhausted because I spent all day working outside, but we started working on PCBs today. I didn't expect to actually get any of them completed or fixed today. You know, we're just getting started. I still got to test our setup here more and figure out why it doesn't seem to be working exactly as I thought it would, but anyways, Yank, thanks for hanging out. The 6 other people in chat here, thanks for hanging out. We will be back tomorrow, probably doing more board stuff, or I gotta order parts to get the jukebox thing up and running, so I'm gonna find those parts. I think I gotta order them from China. I can't really find them anywhere here in the States, so yeah. So I order those things from China and they'll show up sometime. So stay safe. Yeah, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time I'm up here. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody. Night, Yank. Night, everybody else.